guys, welcome to the video. I am Ash, he is Saph, and we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. Thank you, Dragonheir, for making this video in this channel possible. Today, we're going to talk all about summoning, something I absolutely love to do. Saph, are you excited, man? Because not only are we going to do this, but we're going to do our first summoning ever in the next video after this. But we need to set the table here. We need to give everybody all the information on when to, when not to summon, best practices, things that people might miss, especially as beginners in the game. So let's go into it, man. How you feeling? You excited for this one?
Yes, I am. I feel like summoning in any game is the most, like, the best part and also the worst part.
It's the dopamine. Yeah, that's it, man. That's how
it's high. It's like
that's
amazing.
why they call them gacha games, man. That's it, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to kind of going through the summoning systems, because I actually think Dragonheir's summoning systems are very, very crystal clear, which I think is very difficult in some games. Some people
there's transparency, and just compared to the other games that I play, Watcher and Raid, it feels like the mercy in this game is a lot, if you want to call it mercy, a lot more generous, I'll say.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can actually plan very, very clear. It's very easy to know when something's going to happen, where I feel like in Raid, it's kind of like you go into it knowing, well, on average, it should take this, but it could take the full whack.
Yep. All right, so where do we start, man? Well, let's talk about the different types of summons, I guess, first.
Yes. You have two main summoning dice. You have Starlight summons and you have Helite summons, which I call them purple dice and gold dice. It's much easier via color. Starlight summons are kind of like your epic champion chasing mechanic. You'll get loads of these. This is predominantly where you get epic. Now, they did recently, very recently, within the last 2 weeks or so, add a legendary drop from this one. It's a very small chance, 0.2%, and there is no mercy on the legendary in the Starlight summon. They just added a 0.2% chance. But
that's cool, though.
These summons, you'll get loads of them.
So they're not mystery shards. They're not ancient. I'm going to use a lot of raid comps, sorry, because I know a lot of our viewers are familiar. I mean, they're a lot better than mystery shards, right?
They're zoomed up mystery shards, down ancient shards. They're kind of like somewhere in the middle.
Right in the middle. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a little bit in the middle.
Are these pretty plentiful throughout the game? Starlights?
Yeah, you've got loads. Yeah, loads. I think when they announced that they were going to be doing these legendary additions, I started saving, man, and I got to like 250 in, I think, like 3 weeks. You just get loads of them. They just keep throwing them at you. And eventually they just become a bit of you just summon them because you've got every epic when you get to like season 3. But right now it's really important that we get some epics because epics are very valuable. And this is kind of like what the job of this dice is to give you epic and rare champions more than it is to give you legendary.
And the guarantee, let's talk about the guarantee. I mean, this is what we're talking about in terms of the transparency, right? Rare hero, you'll be guaranteed a rare hero on your 5th attempt if you fail to summon a rare hero in a row. Epic, guaranteed an epic hero on your 35th attempt if you fail to summon an epic hero. I mean, that's beautiful, right? To your point, that's the transparency that you'll know exactly, even though you only have a 3% chance of an epic, 35 attempts and you don't get one, you're guaranteed to get one. It's right there.
And you can kind of plan ahead. You can literally save up till you get 35 and then go, well, I know the moment I'm going to summon now, I'm guaranteed to at least get one, which is really, really valuable, because I think in most of the games like Raid, for example, it says, well, after you reach a certain number where you haven't got it, then it'll increase the odds by 2% up until it's just like, you need a math degree sometimes to figure out how many attempts it's going to take before I'm going to go,
it just becomes easier to pull and close your eyes, right? I like this. Okay, so the Starlights, we're good. We have 157 Starlights. But let's talk about the Helite. This is where we get into the juicy stuff. A lot higher of a chance to pull a legendary at 3%. And they still have the guarantees. This time 35th without a legendary. You get a legendary after 35. That seems generous, man. You know,
it does feel good, right?
It feels very good.
You get a lot of them because essentially the wear marrow you get will translate into the legendary dice. So, if you basically play free to play for a good month, you'll probably be sitting on around about 35 to 40 Helite dice. And it's even better now since the new season 1 start, right? The new season 1 start gives you a lot more. But like between season 2 and season 3, if I didn't like use any sort of marrow for a month, I can get about 30 to 40 legendary summons. So it feels like basically within a month I'm always guaranteed to get a legendary, which feels really good, and I'm not even paying for that function. If you start looking into something like the subscriptions, then you get even more opportunities. So
and we have a whole buyer's guide out already, I should mention, and we also have for $1 US, you can get any epic of your choosing in the game as well. So we talk about kind of Saph's recommendations for the very best epics that you could choose from, and we made our choice. I'll let you guys check out that video as well. So you're saying 100% free to play, Saph. We get the free legendary just by starting out now, right? And then we'll get another basically guaranteed legendary because we can get around 35 Helite summons, and so that's 2 legendaries like minimum after a month of play, provided that you're logging in every day.
Yeah, I think we obviously bought a bunch of Helites for the video.
No, I'm not talking about our account. I'm just talking about a general. If you're not spending and you go play for a month and you're logging in every day, you're basically going to walk away with 2 legendaries.
It should be about 1 a month because you get roughly enough.
Well, you get the free one. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you get the free one. Yeah, and also like you get loads more Helite dice in season 1, like than we ever got back in the day. So it does make a difference. But the most important thing about Helite as well is they give you a mercy on the epic rates as well as the legendary, which I think that's quite unique. I don't think many games give you like double mercy. Like in Raid, you don't get a mercy for getting epics or anything like that. 7,
not bad. Yeah.
You always get an epic every 7th summon if you don't summon an epic or a legendary, and you'll also get a legendary every 35 if you don't summon a legendary. There's no commons in here, so this is a pretty good way of filling out all of your rare heroes as well.
Okay. Well, you've taught me all about this stuff off air, but I have 3 other kind of topics that I want to ask about. And one is, how should we be utilizing our resources to the best effectiveness, get the most bang for our buck when it comes to summoning? I want to talk about the echoes of the other world, and I want to talk about different banners and, how to kind of navigate where to summon. Start wherever you want to, maybe the echoes of the other world.
So what I will start with is, because we know every legendary is a 35th summon, that means realistically, and this is the best advice I can give, you should never summon anything unless you can summon 35, because you're going to get a legendary, and you want to basically never waste your mercy, if that makes sense. Because a lot of these banners that you see on the left, these are called summoning banners. They will have either a time span or they will reset at certain points in time, which means that, for example, if you summon on this banner also has a 35 legendary. If you don't get if the banner closes and goes away, well, you've just invested a bunch of Helite dice towards a mercy that no longer exists. So only ever summon on something if you have 35, because you're going to get the legendary payout when you summon in that window.
Question. Some games have it to where the mercy carries over between banners. Other games don't. Does it here? For example, let's say so if I've pulled 20 Helite summons here without a legendary, I cannot go over and know that on the 15th pull, I will get one. Okay.
Exactly. I don't know if that's still 35 on here. If you check the summon details down the bottom. So if anyone ever wants to know how to see the information, you can check the summons. Yeah, it's the same thing here. But as I said,
they have their own mercy.
These banners are slightly different. Yeah. So that was the first thing I just want to say. Don't summon unless you have 35, because you don't want to waste your mercy if you hit mercy, if that makes sense. And I've gone mercy multiple times before. And it's always like, I sometimes if I haven't hit a legendary in a while, I'll keep summoning until I hit the legendary, then stop and start saving. Because you always want to make sure you have enough summons for the month 1 and the month 1 event, and then the Dungeons and Dragons collaboration that they do towards the end of a season, right? You always want to make sure you'll need about 60 Helite dice. Well, not so much 60, about 40 to 60 Helite dice for month 1 to 2, those 4-week windows. So by the 8th week, really, you need to have summoned 60 from the start of the 5th week.
Okay.
I'm losing my dates here, but that's kind of like the rough thing. So you don't want to waste summons. That's the first point.
Yep.
Now, the other thing you were talking about is obviously the echoes of the underworld and these banners. So in Dragonheir, we have what they call summoning banners. And the really cool thing is you can predict and look ahead at every summoning event that's going to happen in the season. So in the upcoming events window, you can actually predict, like you can look ahead and see, maybe I really want that one particular legendary. Well, they will appear in almost like select banners, summoning banners. And the way that these summoning banners work is they're like progressive event models. If you've ever played in Raid, where you summon a legendary, if it's not the legendary you've blessed, you've chosen, then the next time you summon the legendary, you have a much higher rate of getting that particular legendary. You can preview all of the heroes if you click on Hero Overview, and it will show you all the heroes that are going to be in this particular banner. So you can absolutely plan from day 1 of a season which banner you might want to summon on. You can see all the different legendaries, whether they're good, whether they're not, and including epics, especially if you're trying to like target farm like a completion of one of your teams. Maybe you've got like 2/3 of a team component, but you just need that one epic or that one legendary to really tie together. That's what those banners are really good for. It is exceptionally good for effectively finding the one hero you want and then keeping that one hero.
Okay. So when given your druthers, are you normally summoning, are you basically taking a look at these banners and saying, okay, I really want X hero, and that's what's going to inform, you know, whether or not you pull under the banner versus the regular? How often do you, I guess, ballpark, summon under a banner versus just going a normal Helite summons?
Yeah, so I think the banner is going to be more things that players will do in Season 2 or Season 3, or if they have a lot to go for. Because generally, you know, from like our account right now, we have no legendary. So whatever we get is great. So I'd rather get the chance of legendaries at a better rate rather than specific ones. And in that situation, this is where the Echoes of the Otherworld, which was obviously something you wanted to talk about here, is very good, because what this will give you is a guaranteed legendary after you summon 80 on the Helite Summons event. So if we summon 80 today, we'll get 3 guaranteed legendaries, because you get the one on the 35, the one on the 70, and the one on the 80, which is probably better than going on the summons one, which is just a standard one. There's no, you lose that guarantee.
We lose the guaranteed. Got you. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, it's all right here in the summoning details for you guys to read, so we don't need to spend a lot of time going over, but once you lock in a hero, they're locked in. Like, you can't switch it up, you know?
It's the one you're blessing.
Yep, and it also says right here, the guaranteed number of summons in each summoning event is calculated independently. So answering my old question, the chances go up to Saph's point by 2, 4, 10, and 20 times the initial rate, and escalating additional chance to pull the select legendary. All right,
and
man.
one thing to note on there as well, because the champion pool is only 9, well, the 20 times on a versus a 9 is quite a steep increase. It's not like in other games where it's like, oh, well, I've got like a times 25 and I've got to get 1 out of 200 legendaries. You basically get 20 times the chance out of 9. A lot of people will look at this video and go, well, you know, it's for spenders. It is a little bit, but at least it feels like you have an achievable outcome, and you can really get what you want on those banners, which I think is quite clear. It's crystal clear. It's really, really clear to tell you exactly how it works.
Absolutely there, yeah. Okay, let's end by talking about all of our resources and how we should manage them appropriately and efficiently to get the most out of our summons.
Absolutely. So typically the Weir Marrow, which is the purple, the pink, the red, whatever color it is. The Weir Marrow, most of the time with that, you're going to convert near enough all of it into Helite dice. It is a mechanism for summoning. It is the best way to generate Helite dice, and really because you can use it for things like food refilling for your daily energy, but ultimately that is not good use of your time. You'd rather get the legendaries and the epics, because as like we said in a few videos, there is no duplicate system in terms of once you get the hero, you keep it. So it's more about just trying to get the hero to begin with. And I think for a lot of new accounts, that's where we recommend like Weir Marrow, convert it to your Helite. It's effectively just currency.
Converted to summons, Helite.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And no real exception to the, go ahead.
Sorry, the gold is just a conversion to the Weir Marrow.
Gold the dragon crystal converts to the Weir Marrow, which converts to the Helite dice.
Pretty much that's how it's going to work. There will be some times where you go, I just need an extra 50 food. You can convert, I think, 60 of the Weir Marrow to 50 food, but like a dungeon costs you 15, so you're buying, you know, 3 or 4 dungeon runs at best. So it's not really a good payoff, but it can be okay to use at time to time, depending on where you are in your account. But for the majority of people, you just think of Weir Marrow as Helite dice. It's 350 Weir Marrow for a summon. What
is the most consistent, easy way that people should not skip out on to actually obtain the Weir Marrow to start this whole chain reaction?
So you'll get loads from just playing the game.
Yep.
Just playing the game, doing your hard training events. They put them in all the events. Being part of an alliance with Vortex is very important, because the alliance can give you 70 a day by just playing Vortex, which we are up in this area right now. This is basically kind of like a clan boss, but it's not really like an alliance tied thing.
Yep.
You also should do this every day, because as you see, we're going to get some Weir Marrow. Here we go. 5.
There it is.
Scale. So if you have if you come out of that window and you look at the boss rewards, the challenge rewards, it should actually give you the scale of when you get to difficulty 4, well, you're going to get 95 a day. So you get 95 plus 70. So just doing Vortex alone, it's going to give you about 165 Weir Marrow a day. So you will find that you're going to get loads.
Yeah.
You'll get a lot per day. You'll find that you'll pick up a lot of these materials as you go, just by playing the game. All the ranking leaderboards you might be part of, the hard training events that finish every week, the interval sort of dungeon events, playing the game is the best way to generate weird marrow. You will get a lot of it.
Just go with the storyline, do your vortex, do your, you know, do you get it from contracts and the alliance as well, or is that separate? Yeah, okay. So do your be active in your alliance and you'll be summoning before you know it. Anything that we didn't mention that people need to know about summoning in Dragonheir?
The main thing you should do with these Heliolites is don't summon freely, because at the start of month 1, there will be an exclusive event. You can preview it already to get Utio. He will require you to have about 40 to 60 Heliolite dice ready to go. So you really want to spend a good proportion after your first week saving Heliolite dice.
Okay.
You really want to save it for this Imperial Shadow recast event. That will require you to earn a currency. When you get 200 of that, you can exchange it. It's Shadow Amethyst for Utio, and you can get a free legendary hero if you just kind of play the game and do your dungeon bosses. But you kind of don't need to get all of them from the summoning, but you need to get a good chunk. You can't do it without summoning. You can see up to 60 Shadow Amethysts can be claimed. Yeah.
So maybe maybe do like one summoning, when you save up your 30, obviously it's going to depend quite a bit on the player, right? If you're spending, if you're not, yada, 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 how active you are. But maybe like us, I assume our plan, Saph, we have, a few weeks still until the Imperial Shadow recast. Do one summoning with 35, minimum. And then after that, kind of save up for the event. Does that make sense?
Yeah, basically it depends on your spending level. Maybe you hold your stuff for a week, see how much weird marrow you feel like you can get by playing the game, and then make sure you get to the end of that event. That event lasts for 4 weeks. So you don't necessarily need 40 by week 4.
Yeah.
You need to have like 60 summons from week 1. You need about 60 summons from week 5, the start of the first week of it, by the end of the week 8, which is the end of that month period. So you can spend the event time getting more weird marrow and summoning to get yourself up to the start. So I would suggest people, maybe play the game a bit, see how you feel. Make sure you're thinking a little bit ahead, that you've got enough weird marrow and enough Heliolite dice that you'll be able to do that event, because it would feel terrible if you could do everything else but you just didn't save the summons. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, Saph, I feel like you did a great job breaking down all of the everything anybody needs to know about summoning. I am ready to summon, my man. I am ready.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited.
Let's go ahead and do that, and you guys can look forward to that in the next video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.